Thanks for tuning in to the Charles Novell School of Music podcast, The Best Day Yet. Here you'll find tips, insight, and information to help your music and your ministry succeed. Whether you're a singer, a musician, or a songwriter, we want to help you where you are, but we also want to help you get to where you want to go. We believe that our talents are God's gift to us, but what we do with those are our gift back to God. Yesterday's information is important, but what we can learn today will make this the best day yet. Hello, and welcome to today's episode of the CNS podcast, The Best Day Yet. Today's podcast is really special. Something different than what we've done to date with these podcasts. Here's the thing. The Charles Novell School of Music, we have been offering training for literally 60 years, the last 6 decades. And my dad was very intentional in recording different classes, workshops, seminars that we would do at the summer sessions over the years. And I have access to hundreds of workshops and seminars taught by my dad, as well as our Charles Novell School of Music staff and different guests. And we're going to do something really unique today. We are going to pull the audio off of a workshop that my dad did in the early 90s on piano improvisation and arranging ideas for piano solos. So today, pianist, man, you're in for a treat. And listening to this, and we're going to divide this up into a couple different podcasts. This is going to be part 1 today. There's about 45 minutes worth of material here. And we're trying to keep these podcasts 25 minutes. So we're going to divide this thing up. Today's just going to be part 1. So you'll have part 2 to look forward to as well. But in this episode today, we're going to just simply work introductions from my dad. So as I was listening through this, man, I literally got a 45-minute piano lesson from my dad. It was a really unique thing for me because it's been a couple years since dad has passed away and that I've been able to learn directly from him. So super thankful that I have these tapes, that I have these videos, and man, I want to share them with you. So we're going to get right into this today. In this first segment of this, in this first part 1 of this, he's going to give you the breakdown right up front of what we do when we are arranging a piano solo. And then I'm going to let it roll, and you're going to go in. It's about a 20-minute, 22-minute lesson that you're going to get. And then I'll come back at the end to wrap this up. Again, my dad was just crazy gifted. When my dad sat down at the piano, it was like an artist sitting down at a blank canvas. And 3.5, 4 minutes later, there was a beautiful piece of art that he had created. And super excited to be able to share this with you today. So this was a session from the early 90s at the Charles Novell School of Music. Now, disclaimer, it was recorded on cassette tape, so the quality isn't the best, but the information and the learning is 100% top quality. So let's go into this session now and see what we can pull from this.
All right, piano solo improvisational ideas. And we're going to deal today with the concept of a piano solo, like for an offertory or as a featured spot in your group, and the group will feature you as a pianist, and you're playing a little number during this time. And we want to talk about that today and give you some ideas on piano solo arrangements. Let's just look at the formula for an arrangement. The first thing is an introduction, an intro idea. Now the intro idea, well, let's go through it first, and then I'll come back and expand on each area. Then you have, in our gospel songs, being in verse-chorus fashion, let's put verse, chorus. After the intro, the second thing will be the verse and chorus. Now the next area is going to be an interlude. Have a little middle section there. Just something to break it up. Give it some variety. Now, in arranging for our groups, the second verse coming back in, we can have another person singing. But when we're there by ourselves, we've got to come up with some variety that we can administer in this arrangement, just using one person. Then we have the second verse and chorus. The second verse and chorus. And here we want to do something different on the second verse and chorus than what we did on the first time through. Don't play it just like you played the first time through. Make it some kind of a variation, all right? And then we could do a repeated chorus. Let's put repeated chorus or ending, or we could go ahead and end. And then number 6, let's just go ahead and put ending. Now within that formula right there, we can have a lot of variations, and our variations can come in the form of key change and changing of improvisational ideas. But let's look now at the first item, the intro idea. The intro idea. This is going to be a portion of music prior to the song coming in that is going to set the stage for what you're going to do. Now I say set the stage because it doesn't necessarily have to be in the same key. It doesn't have to be in the same mood or the same style. It's just something to set the stage for the arrangement. It can be something jazzy. It can be something classical. It can be something very, very similar to the body of the arrangement. The one thing that I would strongly suggest is that you make this an addition to the arrangement and not just pull out the last phrase of a song. Now, if you were playing for somebody in accompaniment, then that's good and that's fine. In fact, it probably would be best to play the first phrase and then wind out of that thing some quick way and end it up. That helps them to have an instant recall of what the tune is to sound like, you see. But since you're going to play this as a solo, then you have a lot of liberties that you could take. And a lot of different things that you can use for intro ideas that would get you started. All right, let me regress a little bit. Let me take back one phrase that I said there, playing the last phrase. You could go ahead and play the last phrase, but you could doctor it up a little bit. You could doctor it up. That's what I like. Such as this. All right, that would be an intro idea. Now we can doctor that idea up by doing this. Using the chromatic scale. We can then doctor up that last phrase, or we can go up. Simple chromatic scale will doctor it up a lot. That's going to require getting in here and working out the fingering and so forth, but it will and can pay off for you. All right, now the type of intro idea that I especially like is an intro that is foreign to the song material that we're doing. In other words, we're going to use a different musical idea than is going to be heard anywhere else in the song. It's going to be a completely different idea. We could do something like this. And then we are on into the song. And what I did right there was I used the 2 minor chord and then to the 5. The 2 minor 5 makes an excellent intro idea. If you're ever caught on the spur of the moment and you need some kind of a quick intro without having to think it through, you can use the progression 2 minor to 5, and just sort of improvise around on it and make it click for you to where it really sounds good. 2 minor 5, and that's what happens. I'm in the key of C, and I use a D minor 7, and I used inversions. I just went up inversions. I came down in 2 chromatic scales, 1 in the left and 1 in the right. And I started on the right on A, and the left on D, and I just brought it down like so. Then I land on my G. Instead of playing a regular G chord, I played this for the G. This is a substitution. I used an F, A flat, B, E. See, normally I would just play G, B, D or F, G, B, D. But in this case, I'm going to use G, and then it's like a flatted ninth chord, and then right into the song. Or I could use something that right there would work for a fast or a slow song. You see, you're coming down. And then or it could be something slow. We come out of it with this. Then we go. Something like that, you could go either fast or slow, it wouldn't make a whole lot of difference. Now, if I wanted to do something, let's say we got another fast tune. I can use the 5, 7, I'm in the key of B flat, and I'm going to use the dominant chord, which is the 5 chord. B flat, and now I'm in G. And I played the second, actually that was the start on the chorus, and then I'm going to the verse now, and I'm going to play that in C. Well, let's go back and look at it. The intro idea I used there was arpeggios, just using arpeggios. That sets the stage. Now the other night, in the arrangement of the Bible hymn, I used arpeggios for an introduction, but I used them in a different way. And there I used the arpeggio over a 5 chord. Now the other night I used the first section was in a minor key, so I played the introduction in a minor, and I used the tonic minor, the 1 chord in the minor key, and I played an arpeggio. What I did was I started it a half a step above what I was going to play, and then just dropped it down a half a step. See, it works. It may not be the greatest in the whole wide world, but it works. And that's what we want. It's something that works. That's all, you know. I'm not asking for the world's...
Something that's different, too.
It's something different. I'm not asking for the world's greatest automobile to drive. I just want an automobile I tell people, just give me one that'll drive, that I can start, and that will roll, and when I put the brake on, it'll stop. That's all I'm asking. Just give me something that works. But this is different. It is different. So you start here. Then you drop it a half a step. The ear isn't quite expected to hear that unless you've heard the arrangement before, like Charlotte many thousands of times. And then we're ready to go into the song. And I'm going to do it in a minor key. Now the song is written in a major key. Why am I doing it in a minor key? So that it would be different. See, and that's one of the variations that we're going to talk about as we get into the verses here in just a minute. But that is a little different kind of idea. I did an arrangement of a song that I picked from a classical piece of music, an introduction. I used an intro from a classical piece, and it went like this. Gospel. But the first part had a contrast to styles to make it different. And that was on a G chord. If you'd like to know what I did there, it's G, and then I'm going down half a step to F sharp, back up to the G, A, B, A sharp, B, C, D, C sharp, D, E, F, E, F, and then it starts all over again. And then it starts all over again. And since I'm at the top and I can't go any higher, it just stops there. And I'm using octaves. Now another little idea that you can use with just the octaves would be to play the 5-7 chord, the dominant chord of the key that you're in. Let's pick the key of E flat. Now I'm going to play in octaves. Again, something a little different than what will happen later in the song. And I'm going to play the dominant, which is going to be the B flat 7 chord. And I'm just going to come down like this. And it's better than just going right into the song. Use the 5, which is the dominant of any key that you want, and just play it in octaves. And I played it 2 times, and here would be 1. Which you could do. Or you could do it repeat, 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 repeat. Which I use then just octaves over the dominant chord. If you wanted to use a scale as an intro. There we have just a scale. I use an E flat, then the 2 minor, 5, Now let's take a fast song. An intro for a fast tune should be light and bright and cheerful and very happy. Let's take the key of C, and we're going to use just the note G. And we're going to have an intro on Johnny one note here. And that's just one note, which is G. But it's the way we play the G. You know, we could just go, that's our intro? Of course not. But that's what we heard, is just one note. But it's what we do with that one note. I play G in the left hand, and then the thumb of the right hand plays it, the little finger plays it, and the thumb plays it. So the right hand is going to go, we'll play three of them. With the one that the left hand plays, we have four. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. And we go. We're right into it. And you can do that for your group. Or you could do it as a piano introduction. Which is simple enough to do. Or another nice little idea that you can use is in the key of C, play the first inversion of the chord. And right here I'm using E, G, C. Okay, now we'll start here at the top and we come down. Just using this idea. Like this. Alright. Using something just very simple like a diatonic chordal thing. Diatonic means that it all stays in the key of C. Now that would be a little harder to play in E flat or A flat or E or B because of the combination of black notes. But in the key of C that works very well. And you could do the same thing with a little variation of rolling it backwards. You could roll it backwards. While we're on there, soon we can get off these intro ideas and get into something else, but while I'm thinking about it, let me give it to you. Just a four-finger exercise like this that we have in our exercise books. Utilize that. You know, we have use any of those as an intro idea, and I used it in this manner. Those are just a few of thousands of ideas that you can use as intros, and we could spend a whole day just on introductions. But at least that'll get you started as to what to do in an introduction. These are just some ideas, and looking for other ideas and combine two different ideas together for an intro idea.
Wow, so much information right there. Just simply dealing with introductions. Part one, all we were able to get into were intro ideas, but Dad shared so much with us. He talked about utilizing arpeggios, utilizing scales, We can do major scales, minor scales, ascending, descending. One of the neat things, he loved double chromatic scales. And that was something that he taught me, and I like to use those as well. He utilized dominant seventh chords. He talked about that. He talked about modulating, using modulations in your intro. He used to say, Robbie, keep them guessing. If someone trying to figure out your arrangement, let them work and try to figure out what you were doing. So he liked to start in a different key and then use that intro time to modulate into the key of the song. He talked about using classical music and infusing classical music into our arrangements. He talked about diatonic chords. He gave us different ideas on utilizing block chords versus broken chords and the difference between block and broke. Block are played together, broken are played separate. He then, I liked right there towards the end, he talked about utilizing our basic finger exercises that we do. Dad had me go through Hannon, the entire book. But you know what? There's so many times that I will use one of those finger exercises as an idea, an intro idea, or somewhere else in the song. My favorite part of the whole podcast was the Johnny One Note Wonder there that he talked about. He literally used one note to play an intro. So I hope this was helpful to you. I'm sure you got a lot out of just part one, right? We still have part two that will be coming. So be looking forward and be looking for that. Now, within our CNS teaching series, we have a couple books that I believe for you pianists could be great for you. My dad had done a book on piano improvisation, intros, turnarounds, licks, fill-ins, endings. And then we also just released this past summer at CNS 22. We have an arrangement book, 10 of Dad's arrangements typeset into music that will make great piano solos, offertories, or specials for you. So you can contact us at www.cnsmusic.com to order a copy of one of those books or even to get both of those. The books are $20 a piece. And I tell you what I'm going to do because I am in a really good mood after my piano lesson with my dad today. We will make a special. If the books are $20 a piece, you want to get both of them, we'll do both for $30 if you mention this episode of the CNS podcast, The Best Day Yet. So until next time, hope you got something from this. And once you realize that you did, it will truly make you understand that today has been the best day yet. Be blessed. Thanks for listening to the Charles Novell School of Music podcast, The Best Day Yet. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter under the name the Charles Novell School of Music. And for more information on CNS and our upcoming events, like our online school, our weekend regional sessions, our creative coaching, and our pastor's retreat, you can visit us at our website at www.cnsmusic.com. As you've listened to this episode, we hope that you've gained some information that you can apply to your music and to your ministry to make today the best day yet.